This is Nosey with Good Intentions, the podcast.
In every nook and cranny.
This is Michael.
And Kirk. Guiding your noses today.
That worked. Oh, Lord. All right, so what the fuck? What was the last thing we were talking about? You know what? Let's find one of these topics and try our best to stay on the topic. What do you think?
Which one do you want to do? What about the other one that you sent me? The Owen
Oh, Gary Owen.
Gary Owen.
Okay, cool. So Gary Owen is getting a divorce.
Yes, but nobody seems to know why.
His wife's filed for divorce.
Yes.
I don't know. Well, we don't know the why or the how, when, or anything. So I guess I wrote down that for one, it seemed like they were doing. I mean, again, we don't know their personal business, and we don't talk to them.
I didn't know him at all.
You've never seen any of his movies?
You sent me the
anything?
name, and I was like, okay.
His comedy is so good.
Well, I just haven't seen it. It doesn't mean it's not.
Have you ever seen Think Like a Man? Tell me you've seen Think Like a Man.
I don't think so.
The movie that's based off the Steve Harvey books? Fuck. What? Have you ever? No, I know you haven't seen that. Either way, he's funny as fuck.
Okay.
He used to be in the Navy like I was. He was an MA.
Okay.
I wasn't an MA, but he was an MA, which is like, you know what MP is in the Army?
Military police.
My
friend was military.
Yeah, and MA is the naval equivalent of an MP. It's called a Master at Arms. That's what it stands for.
Oh.
But it's military police.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. This is why I wanted to talk about it because when they first got married, she had a son before they met. Not like adultery or anything. She had a son. She came to the marriage with a son. No, I didn't want somebody.
You didn't want to put it out there like adultery.
Yes. I just didn't want somebody here and go, oh man, she cheated on him. You know what I mean? Okay.
Right.
So when they first met, she brings
because they're depending on us for the news.
Probably not. But they came together. She brought a child with her, a little boy, her son. They have two biological children together, a boy and a girl.
Okay.
So the main reason why I wanted
So essentially the Smith.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Will and Jada. So, but yeah, I was about to say, well, he's not nowhere near as famous as Will, but that doesn't matter. But anyway, so reason why I wanted to bring it up is he said in his stand-up, he's made a joke out of it, that he put her son through college.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about that type of stuff? Like, if I feel as though if you come into the marriage with, I'm not saying she need to write him a check for whatever he paid for college. I just think when you part ways, do you think that would bother somebody?
That he paid for college?
No, that he's invested in a child that wasn't biologically his in general, not.
Did he adopt this child?
Legally, I have no idea.
Okay. Because to me, that would make a difference.
Really?
If you've legally adopted this child, they're now your child.
Well, they've been married like at least 10, 15 years. They didn't get married last week.
No. I think it was 17.
Oh, you found it. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. I looked it up. Yeah. I tried to do a little research.
I got to do better about that.
I tried to do a little research. Let me see. I took a screenshot because there was something that I wanted to read off of there. Okay. But here, 18 years of marriage. Okay. Excuse me. I was a year
So that's
off.
why I wanted to ask. Like, what do you think about people who are married who bring a child, man or woman brings a child into the marriage, and then you part ways? Yeah, but luckily it's not
Yeah.
And you part ways. Do you think that the parent who was married but was not the child's biological parent, do you think that they should sever ties as well? Do you think they should still continue to contribute to that child's life, emotionally, physically, whatever it is?
I think so. I mean, I guess it would depend on how long.
Okay, what would be a time frame of?
I don't know. I mean, 18 years would be.
Yeah.
I mean,
I raised you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he was depending.
It also depends
how old is the child
and the other parent, the other biological parent. Are they active? Do they not exist?
Right. Because I do think
I don't know their circumstances, but
I do think if it's possible, that if both biological parents want to be involved in the child's life, they should be the co-parent.
And if the divorcee, they don't
even have to be. You don't have to be married to have a baby.
No, I mean,
so I'm saying, like, let's make it more general.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make a general conversation, just that to start it.
Whenever, let's say, these two people, biologically have a child, and then, but they don't decide to continue to be in an intimate relationship together.
Wait, let me set the table.
Set the scene.
Okay. Gary Owen's wife and whoever her quote unquote child's biological.
Kenya is her name.
Oh, excuse me.
The wife's name is Kenya.
That is right. Okay, so let's
Kenya
take it
has
away
a
from
child.
them.
Let's say Kenya and Bob. Bob is
We're
the
still
son.
using her name, but whatever. Let's separate it. Okay, person A, man or woman, has a child with another person biologically together.
Yes.
They were never married, never boyfriend, whatever. And then
they decide not to be together.
Yes. And then one of them goes and gets married to another person who has then been a part of this child's life. I'm gonna just use their time frame, not them for it, but 18 years.
Okay.
And I've raised you, I've taken care of you, I've provided not just money, because there's more to being a parent than money.
True.
But as a whole, a good parent, I have poured into you for 18 years.
Yes.
But I'm not your biological parent.
Correct.
And we divorce.
Which is a choice.
Which part? The pouring
to
in?
financially pour in.
Okay. Well, it
is a choice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, emotionally, everything.
Right.
So we divorce. Do I now, man or woman, should I be not required? Should I want to continue to pour into this child's life, whether it be emotionally,
I would
whatever?
think so. I mean, especially after 18 years.
But do you think that the other the other parent that is their biological father or mother, does it depend on whether they've been active for those 18 years that I was married to their ex?
I think there's a lot of factors.
Okay.
So let's start.
That's
with,
why
let's start with a basic.
Okay.
We'll use their names.
Okay.
So Gary
okay.
and Kenya.
Right.
Kenya has Bob.
Is the child.
I don't know what his actual name is. None of the children's names are mentioned.
Yeah, that's not our business. We don't talk about kids, but
we're going to call him Bob.
The child is Bob.
Yes.
Okay.
From the previous relationship, whether that was a marriage or not.
Right.
So Kenya and her son Bob, and then Gary.
Okay.
So Gary and Kenya get married.
Right.
But Bob, let's say Bob is 5.
Okay.
5 or less.
Right. And I'm gonna adjust my chair. Go ahead.
Bob has really been. I mean, Gary has now been involved with Bob's pretty much entire life. Yeah. Like, because our memories, most people can't go past kindergarten.
Yeah, I think my oldest memory is maybe 4 or 5, give or take. Yeah.
Right. So, as far as that child's concerned, as far back as their memories go, Gary has always been there.
Right. But what if?
But let's say that Kenya, the relationship that ended
with Bob's dad,
Joe. Joe is active, wants to be involved, wants to be there. Then Kenya and Joe should be the co-parent.
Regardless of what Gary has been doing.
Gary is only a parent through Kenya.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Gary can discipline Bob at Gary and Kenya's place.
Okay.
But if let's say they go to Joe's house to celebrate Bob's birthday, Joe and Kenya should be the ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's
at his house.
Yeah.
It's at Joe's house.
You can't come to my house. And
but now, if Joe comes to your house, right. If Joe comes over because the birthday's at Gary and Kenya's house for Bob, then Gary would have a little more say so, just because property.
I think house rules would be.
House rules.
Yeah, but I don't know if parenting.
But if Joe wanted to say Kirk Franklin Bob and cuss him out,
yes,
then
Gary can't really do shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Gary would have to just go listen to your dad.
Yeah. Right.
You know.
Okay, so once Gary and Kenya divorce,
I think that Gary should still want to be involved in Bob's life, but it won't be the same. Like, Gary can now be more of a friend to Bob than a parental figure to Bob. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But should absolutely still be involved. But if Gary and Kenya were only together for
2 years,
a year, 2 years, and
they're still, and child Bob is still
right.
Now they're
back and forth between Kenya and Joe.
Oh, okay.
Like, that to me would be a very different situation. Like, no, why would you?
Okay.
You can be if you want to, but I don't think if you didn't, you would be a bad person, you know?
Yeah. But some people will say, like, oh, well, you were part of this child's life, X, Y, and Z. Okay, I think
Tom.
Time is the difference maker.
Time would be a huge factor.
18 years is definitely a long fucking time.
Right.
But then I'll put it in my.
I mean, I would say even 5 years.
Yeah, that's a long damn time.
5 years is a long time. In a
especially in a child
with
life.
a child.
Yeah.
Involved.
Yeah, 2 adults for 5 years is a long time,
but not
we're not
the same.
in our developmental years.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. I think for myself personally, if I invested 18 years, I'm not just gonna be like kick rocks.
Right.
But I think I would be less on the financial side, and that might make me an asshole. But again, we don't know what Bob's biological dad does.
Correct.
So I'm just going to assume.
Right.
I don't even want to assume, but whatever. We'll just say I've never heard of him, but again, he's not super famous. And just like Will Smith's son, his first son, we have no idea what his biological mom does. She might be super active. She might not be.
Right.
But I'm just going to say
Wasn't she an actress?
I don't think so. I think she was
Wasn't she in The Fresh Prince?
No. No. Which one are you talking? No, his
isn't his first wife Nia Long?
No, hell no. She played his girlfriend on the show.
On Fresh Prince.
Yeah, but they never were together in real life.
Okay. Who was the first wife?
I know they were married. I do know that much. It was like early in his career.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I've seen a picture.
She was an actress though.
I feel like she was an aspiring actress.
Maybe.
I could be wrong, but
maybe.
she's not famous.
Yeah.
I do know that much. She's not famous for anything.
Gotcha.
But I have a child with Will Smith.
Right.
But
the original.
She got the first.
The original
she got
doll.
The first baby.
Do you know there's a big thing about that?
What?
Having the first child.
Yeah.
Like being the girl that has the first. That's stupid.
Well, the reason why is because giving a man a child is probably the most honorable thing you can do for a man. Biologically giving not the physical act of giving me a baby.
I got what you're saying.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Because you can choose not to have that baby.
Huh?
The reason why is because, in my perspective, is because you can choose not to have that baby, whether I want to or not. As in, if I get woman A pregnant, say I have no children, I don't have my 3 kids, and I impregnate this woman, and I have no kids, she can choose whether or not I get to have that child. If that child gets to exist.
Okay.
Outside of her womb. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Basically saying a woman has the choice of I can abort this baby and you never get to have this child, or I can. To me, a woman physically nurtures a child, and not to sound,
but in the body.
Yeah, you incubate and nurture by a child to life, for lack of a better word.
You house the child.
Yes. So you think about it. Because I ain't trying to be an asshole, but pregnancy typically changes your body. You go through things.
True.
Whereas as men, we will never experience that. And I don't want to experience it because it looks painful as a motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm not signing up.
Yeah, I'm not either. You bring me the list, I'm throwing it in the trash.
Right.
You want to sign up? No, thank you.
Right.
But I think that, okay, I'm saying the only honor, but it's a very honorable thing to give a man their first child. Or any child.
I think it's the word honorable that I'm having a trouble with.
I guess because women have choice of not giving you that.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes. However, there seems to be this importance on the first one.
Huh?
Like in my world, as far as people.
Wait, which world?
In my real world.
Oh, you're okay,
of growing up.
Yeah.
My only references for you not having the parents that biologically created you was either that parent had passed away.
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You said
when you're talking about, Gary and Kenya, and she has a child not with Gary from a previous whatever. That Joe, in the example, his next girlfriend, that maybe they get married, maybe they don't.
Right.
But they decide to have a child.
Okay.
She now is having the second child.
Yeah.
But it's their first child.
Yeah, but
it's not
his
first child.
Yeah.
And for some reason with women, it's not with men, it's with women. There is this thing of being having the first child.
For lack of better words.
Yes.
I don't know.
And I don't understand that at all. Why that's a big deal.
I don't know.
Like, to me, you want to be number 2.
Wow.
All right. Well, number one, you have a person, male, that has no clue what to do. You
male
have
as
no
in the dad? Or?
Yes.
You mean like dad, inexperience?
Yes. Has no clue what to do because it's his first child and it's your first child. So you have no clue to what to do, but something in your body as the female moves you in a direction. And I think that happens with the father. So if you have the second baby,
right,
even if that baby's your first baby, you now have the father who's already went through the first child.
Okay, but
so you're actually getting the best of the mistakes that they did on their first child.
But
starting out the gate with the second child.
I get what you're saying, but I think that part of it, and I could be completely wrong, I think part of it is you go through the mistakes together because it's y'all's first baby.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I could see that.
Because for a wild example, your first child, you don't know shit about changing diapers. She don't know shit about changing diapers.
Right.
But you're learning together.
Right.
And I think it's
bonding.
Yes, it's a process of growth and bonding.
Okay.
Because this is both of our first times.
But.
No?
Yes. But you could also be as the second baby mom. You could also look at that as you're teaching me something. That's equally as bonding.
But everybody doesn't want to be taught.
That's true.
Which is annoying.
But sometimes you have to change your mindset.
Well, I went through that with my second child. She would refer to her mom, which it used to bother me. I don't give a shit about it now. It's cool. I get it now. But during the time, she would reference and refer to her mom, hey, what is this? What is what? And I'm like, I have a kid.
Yeah.
You knew that when we met. I have some experience in this department also. I don't have 4 like her mom. But
was that based on her not wanting to be taught? Or was that based on her, you're not female?
Maybe that too.
And the closest female to me
is
that's
my mom.
Done this, that I even value their opinion on any level is mom.
That's a damn good point. I never...
Change your mindset. I'm just saying.
No, that makes sense though.
Your
mindset was, why the fuck you don't want to get insight from me? I got a kid. This is my
They're still alive.
Yes.
I'm doing something right.
Yes. They're well taken care of. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And maybe it was an insecurity thing, but it frustrated the shit out of me. I was like, why don't you want I didn't yell this, but in my mind, I'm like, why don't you want my insight, my thoughts, and you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's a damn good perspective.
Yeah. It's so easy when you're not in it though.
It is.
No part of my life was in that moment for you. So I'm like, here's the real thing. Like, here's what you need to think.
Right.
Because I wasn't there. And I wasn't in any of it.
That does make sense, though.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it used to make my ass itch. I was just like, why the fuck does she not want any of my input?
And you never said anything?
Once or twice. But not in the right way. I don't know. It was...
Not in the right way. What does that mean? You yelled it.
I didn't yell.
Did you Kirk Franklin her?
No. It wasn't.
Do you like how I'm Kirk Franklin?
I do.
And I've just made that up to tie it back into the first one.
If I ever
should we tie him?
No,
probably not.
But I'm not knocking it. But yeah, I didn't express it the right way.
Going back to the topic.
But that's good though.
But
you got to circle back. Yeah, this is our third attempt. Whatever. But yeah, it used to frustrate me.
We could probably have 3 episodes.
Well, technically we do. We got one with eating chips and shit all in the background.
We can't have that one.
And we use names, so we probably can't use that one until later on.
I knew.
But yeah, I mean, that is a very good way. I never looked at it that way. I just looked at it as she thinks I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that may have never been.
My immediate thought was, I'm sure that she's scared and she's looking at you like you may have a child, but you did not have a child.
Yeah, you're a boy.
Right. And it may have been embarrassing questions. You know what I mean? Like,
but
you know, when the baby kicks, I fart. Like if I was a female, I wouldn't want to say that to you.
Right.
I would want to say that, like, Mom,
is that normal?
When the baby kicks, did you fart? Like when I kicked,
because I can't relate to that.
Because there's no. Well, and I don't want to tell you that's what's happening.
Well, I don't care about hearing it,
but you know what I'm saying? Like,
fair enough.
You want to be your best self as long as possible for as much as possible with the person that you like.
Exactly.
I mean, I wouldn't want to.
When you put that makes a lot of fucking sense. Yeah. Fucking 7 years later.
Yeah. You should cut this and send it to her.
You stupid.
And say, Kirk says you're welcome. Just in case you were pressed about it, Kirk says you're welcome.
But that makes so much sense, though.
Yeah.
It really does.
It does. It does. I mean, it does just because it's a it's a possible perspective.
Yeah. And it makes sense why the way you put it.
Yeah.
You want the information or the quote unquote wisdom or whatever you want to call it from somebody who physically went through all of the emotions,
Right.
the physicality, all of that. I ain't done none of that shit.
Right. Hormones.
Yes. I don't know nothing about that.
Right.
I can't
Because
have
yours aren't changing.
No.
Right.
And I'm not housing another human being in my body.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that makes a lot of fucking sense, though.
I try.
So now to tie it back to the beginning of this.
Oh yeah.
So is it okay for the dad to peace out?
I mean, I think that's a choice.
But do you think
I would,
not even the social media world, their circle, do you think, I'm not going to use their name, just a person.
Side-eyed.
If he says, fuck it, I'm done?
Completely.
As a parent?
After 18 years.
But
Side-eyed.
Would you get side-eyed?
A side-eyed.
Shade like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I would be like, oh, you're back? You left for a while. Every time you came. Every time you showed up. Oh, you're here again? 2 times in the same year. Look at you.
But see, the catch is we don't know what Bob's biological dad is doing.
But to me, it doesn't matter.
Even if he's a good dad or a shitty dad?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, hopefully he's a good dad.
Yeah. We don't know.
Let's start with,
okay, if he's a good dad, Gary should still contribute. I'm not just saying money.
Financially contribute,
Okay, gotcha.
but I think like show up to the baseball game or whatever. Yeah. Show up to the ballet if it's,
Yeah, because they're
whatever. Gymnastics tournament,
right,
whatever.
Because Gary and what's her name? Kenya's. They have 2 biological. Yeah, because that's still their children's brother.
Correct.
Okay,
like, regardless of Gary's
blood relation,
blood-wise.
That's my son's brother.
Yes.
So I shouldn't. I mean, I don't mean like turn into an asshole. I just mean
I don't think
I ain't coming out my pockets like I was.
Let's say that Gary and Kenya as a couple and Joe as the dad. Let's say that the 3 of them sat down and said
they had a grown-up conversation.
We are going to. You're going to pay half of Bob's college, and Joe, will pay you, Gary and Kenya.
Okay.
From your household
whatever
income,
your
will pay half. Yeah. And Joe, and whatever my circumstance is, will pay the other half of Bob's college.
Okay.
But when it comes to your 2 kids, that's
y'all.
How y'all handle that is up to you.
Yeah, because Joe has no ties.
Yes. Yeah. So let's say they agreed on something big like that.
Then once Gary
the day
and
Kenya filed for divorce,
or once they are divorced, or if they will.
No. The day she filed,
we're done.
No. My part of the contribution to the college. No.
Well, I think he's graduated already, but I could be wrong.
But let's say he was going to college. Let's say he was in his sophomore year. My 4th of our half, me and Kenya, my 4th ain't coming.
I mean, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I no longer live. I don't live in the castle, so I don't pay for the castle.
That makes fucking sense.
And you filed for divorce.
Yeah, you pieced that.
If I filed for divorce, I might pay my 4th. I might pay my 4th for at least another year.
Just to get figured out.
Yeah. Just while we're working this all out.
I don't want y'all to
my
drown.
4th.
Yeah.
I still love you, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But since she filed for divorce, not that you should punish Bob.
Right.
But like, no. You're asking me to leave the castle. My 4th comes with me.
Yeah.
When it leaves.
Because I'm sure I'm going to have to pay for this fucking house.
Right. Because I'm going to probably have to pay.
Alimony.
If we live in North Carolina, I'm going to have to pay you everything.
Yeah.
Because
I ain't
you're
getting shit.
Female.
Yeah.
So you get whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to have to pay all of it. So one of those things that I'm not paying for is my 4th.
Yeah. I don't care about the beer. You can hear the beer. I don't care about that. Well, I just didn't want to eat chips all in the microphone. But no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about alimony in general? Not even them, just...
I think it's so stupid.
I do too.
I think it's so stupid.
I think
it makes no sense as to why... Okay, let me go back.
Okay.
Why don't you say your opinion? I've said a lot of my opinion.
No,
Why don't you say yours first?
Okay, I'll put it this way. In regular people, not rich and famous people.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to clarify.
Yes.
So we're not talking about rich people.
Yes.
Because if I'm a multimillionaire and you have 2-3 of my kids and you've been a housewife, I do believe you are entitled to some alimony because you have basically been everything in the house. I've been off making millions.
However,
to take care of all that you
correct. But how is that different from a married couple, regular married couple struggling financially?
Because I think if I'm just going to use even numbers,
if the woman has been the housewife the whole time and raised the kids and made sure everything at the home was taken care of so that you could go to work. Or
I was doing it if both parents work. I'll put it this way. I don't think alimony should be to anybody if both people have been working.
I think if both people are capable of working, why is there alimony?
Yeah, because it feels like an allowance.
Even if you've been a house husband or a housewife for 10 years at this point.
I mean, I don't think no grown ass person should get an allowance, aka alimony. To be honest with you,
true.
Unless you physically, mentally handicapped or whatever the correct word is, you should not continue to get an allowance from me.
Correct.
Because we didn't work out.
Right.
Because you're an adult.
Right. Which I think is why more people are not getting married.
I think people are less committed because the world.
I think there is a less commitment, but I wanted to clarify just that one part. I think from the people that I've talked to, and this is just a small number, I get the sense that that both people, the female and the male, they're like the things that were in place that were a benefit of marriage
are not really there anymore, besides really insurance.
Right. And even insurance, all of them have, it's now open for a secondary person, I believe.
Even if you're not married?
I believe. You can put anybody under your insurance.
Really? That's an adult? I know you can put your kids on there.
Kids, yes. I think an adult, don't quote me on that one. But I think it's changed a lot.
Because I know all 3 of my kids are on my insurance, even though my son's on the other side of the country. But all 3 of them are on my insurance. Okay. And I didn't have to, not to be funny, I didn't have to prove it with a social security card. I just put his name on there.
You just said.
Yeah. I went to the website, typed in his social security number, birthday, that's what I did with all 3.
Yeah.
So I never had to prove that he was my child.
Right. You just said he was. And they took
that. So I don't know.
So maybe.
You might be right.
I don't know.
But I don't believe in alimony because, again, like you said, 2 able-bodied people, why do I owe you an allowance?
Right.
Because we didn't work out.
Right.
If you had never gotten married to me, you'd have to take your ass to work.
You would have had to do that.
You'd take care of yourself.
Yes.
So that's
immediately.
Yes. I don't believe in it. I do believe in child support.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in child support if you're man or woman, if you're actively involved, actively contributing financially, if you're picking your kid, if we basically split all of the stuff that comes with being a parent, roughly 50-50. I mean, 45.
I mean, it's never going to be a perfect split.
But roughly, we both contribute the same amount of everything to a child.
Right.
I don't think either parent should pay child support.
Right.
Even if I make $100,000 and you make $75,000.
Right.
Because we're both contributing what we're capable of contributing.
Yes.
But if I disappear off the face of the earth.
Right. If it becomes a problem.
Yes. You need to take that man or woman to the bank.
Right.
But yeah, if we both physically contribute all of the things that come with being a parent, if we both contribute the maximum effort.
Yes.
Why do you get child support?
Right.
If I live down the street, if we live in the same radius of our children, why do I owe you child support?
Right.
I just don't think that just because one parent earns more, they should be penalized.
Right.
Does that make sense?
But it's not based on earnings. It's based on gender in North Carolina.
You mean in the United States?
I don't know if it's every state, but I would imagine.
I don't know very many women who pay child support. Regardless of circumstances.
Famous. And there's a few famous
Holly Berry
women.
does, but
yeah, she don't count.
I mean, she counts, but I don't know. I don't really know a lot of her details. Like, I don't know who has the kid most of the time, blah, blah, blah. You know?
Yeah.
But,
I think it's pretty split, probably. Because wasn't that man trying to get him to come to France or something?
I know she got 2 kids. 2 kids or 3? She at least has 2.
Yeah. I don't
she
think
pays
they
child
have the
support
same
to
dad.
2 people.
Yeah. Because I think the first dad was like a model and the second dad was like an actor.
Is it? So she didn't have kids with David Justice, the baseball player.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if they got married. I know they dated.
If they had kids, let me say this: if they had kids at that point, those kids are so far beyond 18.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was like boomerang years,
right?
Yeah. Oh, good point. I don't know. Let's see what.
I don't think she did though.
I don't know.
Oh, let me see that I was going to read about that.
Did you still want to touch on injecting demographics into movies just to say you did it? Like how we talked about Beauty and the Beast?
Yes.
Or did you?
We got a lot of topics on this one.
Yeah, what you got?
I was trying to remember why I took a picture, why I took a screenshot of this. There was something that I wanted to. How he explained how they met.
Who?
Owen explained to BET.com how he and his wife met at the Comedy Store when
Yeah,
she
they had
was
a little
in the
mini
audience.
series on BET. I never watched it.
The Gary Owen show.
Yeah.
Only lasted a year.
Yeah, man. Well, BET's kind of been flopping. Not flopping. Their shit ain't that. Their content isn't as good as it used to be. And I don't know why. Because they used to have some good shit. Now they just take shit from like old ass UPN, like the Parkers and CW, and just go, hey, we're going to buy the reruns of this shit and put it on here.
Right.
But who's checking for all that? Most people are not watching that old shit.
I think it was his last sentence. It says, this is a quote of his from BET.com's interview with him. Me and my wife have been together so long, and race doesn't come up that much.
Okay.
Here's my problem with that sentence.
Okay.
That much.
Then
Therefore, it's come up.
More than
just
that much.
Yes.
It comes up more than not much.
Right.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck how long you've been together. There's still going to be things that even if you're not a different race, if you come from two moral backgrounds, if you come from two different religious backgrounds, everybody's individual experience is completely different from the next person.
True.
I don't give a fuck if me and you grew up right next door to each other for 30 years. Your life experience is still going to be different than mine.
Oh, I think we talked about this last time. My sister.
Yeah, me and my sister.
I have. If you ask my sister without me in the room, to explain mine and her shared childhood, and then separately she goes away, I come in, and I explain to you
two different stories.
Well, not even you wouldn't
the names
even
would be the
realize,
same, and that's it.
You wouldn't even realize we were talking about the same childhood.
Yeah,
it would be so vastly different.
Why?
But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
Well, because I think all of our experiences are in our head.
It's from our lens.
And our lens and our voice inside of our head, we assume.
Yeah.
And so our assumption base
are different.
And my sister's assumption base are
we're good. I'm just checking.
Can't be the same.
It's weird. Me and my sister
be.
the same fucking way.
Yeah.
Like if you tell my sister, I'm not gonna go too personal. It's too early but
this could be 5th episode.
Yeah. We have a totally, her experience is, I'm going to get one snippet of our childhood.
Okay.
My first job was in 9th grade.
Okay.
And I worked to help pay bills, but I also bought cool stuff like sneakers and shit like that. Her perspective
for the fashion show.
Yes, in Southside High School, Greenville, South Carolina. But there was times when I bought her shoes also, or I would go off with my friend. In a nutshell, very small nutshell, she thinks that I just went off with my friends and did all this stuff and left her behind.
Because that was her perspective.
Yes.
And that was her assumption.
Yes.
But you were really going to work.
I was going to work. And I hung out with my friends, but I'm 4 years older than my sister. What are we going to go hang out and do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Me and my sister are 5 years apart.
See?
Yeah.
She has this perspective of the whole.
She hated me. But yes.
Your sister?
Yes. Your situation doesn't sound like that.
No, my sister. I love my sister.
Like yours was just, my sister hated me.
Why?
I was annoying.
She's older than you?
Yes.
You're the baby? I feel like you've told me this.
Yeah.
Wait, it's only you and your sister, right? Just
right.
Okay. See, I'm the older sibling.
I'm the baby.
Your sister's 43, 2? Wait, you're 37, so she will be 40.
2.
Yeah, 42.
She'll be 42 in April.
Oh, my sister's birthday's in May.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm 30. Damn, 36. Lord, I'll be 37 at the end of this year. Yeah, so the year I was about
before I turned 38. Yes.
Well, if the world
born
ends
in the same
on
year.
New Year's, we'd be the same age.
That's true.
But the way I put it is, the year I was about to turn 4, my sister was born.
Okay.
Because my sister's birthday's in May. She's 88. I'm 84.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Oh, so y'all are a lot closer. Y'all are really 3 years apart. Because if you think about it, school-wise, y'all would have only been 2 years apart.
No, I was a senior. She was a freshman. Oh, yeah. Damn, that is right.
Well,
Wait.
3 years apart.
3
2 grades.
Yeah,
2 grades in
3,
between
yeah.
you, but yeah, 3.
Yeah.
3
Oh,
apart.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So y'all actually are like my sister. When my sister was a senior in high
You were
school,
like a 6th
I
grade
was
or 7th
in
grade?
7th grade.
Yeah. Yeah, that's different.
So like I was at middle school. She was
You
at high
never
school.
went to school together unless
No.
it was
Well,
elementary, like 1st and 5th.
Yeah.
But that's not a 1st grader doesn't. Their world is totally different from a 5th grader.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, mine and would have been kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
I would have been kindergarten. She'd have been 5th grade.
You sure?
Right. 5 years.
Oh yeah. Gotcha. Close enough.
Math will be next time.
Next time. But yeah, I mean, so I get it that it's either way. He can say it didn't come up that much.
Okay, so I highlighted that sentence because I was like,
Because that's a crock of shit.
well, but it's why? Like, okay, the paragraph is about how they met.
Yeah. Initially, I can see
And
if he
the
said
only time that race was mentioned is the last sentence.
to close out the
Me and
paragraph.
my wife have been together so long, comma, and race doesn't come up that much. He continued.
Is there a question that they asked that fit that?
Not that they put in the article, but I mean, I guess they
probably
could have
so.
asked a question.
Either way.
But even if it was,
At 18
so
years,
you guys are different races, clearly.
Yeah.
Because race is based on
Yeah, but if,
outward appearance.
not biological shit.
Correct. But outwardly, so you can see it that they are not of the same race.
Right, but
Quote unquote.
if you've been not if they've been married 18 years.
Mm.
If you still have race conversation, like deep race conversation.
18 years in. Well, I mean, but I guess I could see where
It shouldn't get
recent events would cause some talk.
But if you got, I don't give a fuck how light or dark their kids are. If you have kids if a white person and a black person has kids, your kids are still considered black.
Correct.
Whether they look white or they look
by
black.
society.
Yeah, not based on anything that matters.
Correct.
But visual representation.
Correct.
You are a black child, whether you're light as me or you're dark as Wesley Snipes.
Right.
And so, but after 18 years, in the marriage part, not the kids part, because they're trying to get their identity.
Right.
The marriage part, unless you're discussing your kid, which we don't know, but if you're discussing
and maybe that's what he meant.
Maybe. Because he's made jokes in his stand-up like, my daughter's real pro-black, whereas my son's kind of, he's just whatever. He's just existing, which is cool too.
Right.
Because I don't think my kids really identify as any particular race.
Yeah.
I mean, my children, at least my girls, they know that my oldest child knows she's black.
Okay. Because she's old enough to understand what that means.
But my son, he's 6. I don't think he knows shit about race, which is fine also.
True.
And he doesn't look mixed. He looks mixed standing next to his other Spanish cousins. But by himself, he doesn't really look mixed. To me, he doesn't.
Okay.
Like when he's with me, I do wonder if people go, is that his son or is that just some little kitty hanging out? Is he a Big Brother program? You know what I mean? Which it makes me self-conscious sometimes. But
is it a big difference?
Between visually me and my son?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks Spanish.
Okay, so he's
half Spanish anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's very different than like
white
tan
and black.
skin.
No, we're the same complexion.
Right.
But he has Spanish features.
Okay, gotcha.
Or Hispanic features. What's the right
Does he
word?
look like you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm just saying but it's me being a dad and me being like, well, you know what I mean? It's nothing like deep and I'm laying in the bed dreaming and having nightmares about the shit. It's just,
right.
You know what I mean? It's just, I'm checking a text message, my bad. But yeah, but so he doesn't, to me when I see him, he does not look black. But I'm not completely black either.
Yeah.
So how much am I really, you know what I mean? If I was like a dark-skinned dude, obviously he would probably look more mixed.
True.
But for him to be mixed, and I'm whatever the fuck I am, we're the same complexion, but his hair texture is his mom's. He's, you know what I mean? So he doesn't look.
So hair.
Yeah.
Would be probably.
I mean, I don't need his hair to be nappy as fuck to be like,
no,
I look black. But
I just mean like random stranger at Walmart.
He doesn't look black.
If your skin, the
texture of your hair and the color of your skin.
If your skin color is similar.
It's just real life, yeah.
But your hair texture is different.
Yeah.
That would probably be like the next thing that some stranger in
Yeah.
Walmart would notice is what I was
Right.
trying to get at.
Yeah, because there's been times when I've gone to pick them up from school, and I always wonder if they're gonna be like, "Who's that black guy?"
Yeah.
I do wonder that. Not like you can't go with that guy, but just because he goes, "Daddy," and like, "Hey, my dad's right there."
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm not a weirdo. I'm not.
Right.
And there's
right.
no like his mom didn't go put a note in like, "Hey, if his dad comes, he can't go."
Right.
Because there are
right.
some people that
Yes.
go,
Yeah. Some people use their kids as weapons. Yes.
yeah. But I do wonder about that. Like when I go pick them up from school, which I mean, we don't live together, but
I think that's a normal thought.
Yeah.
Are they going to think
I'm not actually his dad, or I'm some creep.
Right. Well, you don't live there.
Yeah.
So the times that they would see you would be pretty sporadic.
Yeah, it's not daily.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it is weird that he mentioned that, and I know they did it for clickbait. I'm sure they made sure. Yeah, that's the one that's gonna grab him.
Right.
But if the 18 years, race shouldn't be. And I do understand George Floyd and all of that.
Yeah. Because I mean that was a lot.
Fuck yeah, that matters
in the past. Recent years.
And I'm sure they've had to have conversations about that.
How could you not?
Yeah, his son's black, like both of them.
Right.
And I'm not being funny that
right.
Like you got
they could be.
That could happen.
Be them. Yes.
So how do you have that conversation as a white dad with a mixed son and an all black son?
But I feel like dad.
What do you mean?
Like your dad.
Me
Who
or
else
him?
is going to have that conversation?
Yeah. But he doesn't know that experience as a white guy.
But you can see that experience.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
It is happening as we're seeing on television or wherever, social media. I think even as a white dad, there's
that's
at
wrong.
least the majority of that conversation you could have. You may not be able to say, and I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
No. But I don't think it requires
being that race
to at least understand, like,
this is wrong.
This is wrong.
Yeah.
This may affect you.
Yeah. Be
Let's
careful.
talk.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But I think, and I'm just from what you read off the article. It does sound.
It's very short.
It is, but it's almost put in a negative context or
and it may be just how I'm reading it.
Yeah, but it's either a negative context or they phrased it to go, look at this article.
Right.
One of the two.
It is the last sentence of the whole article.
But it does not give a positive.
Right before the how did you feel about this article face. That you
See
can
what I'm
choose
saying?
from.
It doesn't give a positive.
Right.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
It doesn't end on a good note.
Yes, it's not concluded with end next week on.
And
you know what I mean?
race is not the reason.
Yes.
Because this leaves it open like it could be the reason.
Yeah.
They could be divorcing because I'm tired of living with someone of a different race.
I would hope
me.
that's not. I hope that's not the reason. That's a stupid ass reason to get divorced.
Well,
not
but
divorced,
but if it depends on how much it gets to you. If you in your life, if every morning you're like, God, if you were just the same race as me,
understand.
You would know what I'm talking about. But I can't get through to you.
But that goes
like time after time. Like I can see where that would be like, you're never gonna get what I'm trying to say to you.
But we're not. I don't think
we don't want to look at. Maybe I'm not explaining it well, and maybe I haven't been
like
explaining myself
earlier, and
well.
I never thought about that one.
Maybe I have not explained myself clearly at all to this other person, and because I never did that, they still don't understand where I'm quote unquote coming from.
Right.
Whereas had I explained it better, they may have had more of an opportunity to understand where I'm coming from.
I don't think they were meant to understand every single thing. Not everything, but I don't think we're meant to understand or empathize with or the majority of things that our partner experiences or goes through. Because we haven't lived that life.
But there's a difference between empathy.
I suck at both empathy and sympathy. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, but empathy is the route that we all should go for each other.
Yeah.
We don't have to have verbatim the exact same experience for me to be empathetic towards you. Empathy, my understanding of empathy, correct me if I'm wrong, is I can see what you're saying. I can see where you're coming from. Right. That sucks.
Give or take, yeah.
That's empathy. Not I had that exact experience, and so therefore I fully 100% understand that experience that you're having. Now I'm at empathy. I think empathy's a lower bar than that.
Yeah,
way lower.
Yeah. Sympathy, I think, is more so related
pity.
to pity. I feel I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
As in
you
I've
poor
kind
thing.
of experienced what you went through.
Yeah.
I suck at both of them. Because I think that I'm trying to think of how to say it. I do get that people go through shit.
Yes.
But I think how we react to the shit that we're going through most circumstances can be improved upon.
100%.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Because a lot of times, including myself, we like
Yes.
to get in our own head and go, I'm the victim.
Right.
When it might not be that fucking bad.
Right.
And
it usually isn't.
Yes. You know what I mean?
It usually isn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes
there are some extreme cases.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But it usually isn't.
Like, wife told me a story today. She say, it's a dude that's 23. He turned 24 in the hospital. The dude was fat. I'm just going to go there. He was fat.
New topic.
Yeah. How much time? I mean, I'm not in a rush. I just didn't want to run out of time while talking about it. You know what? We're going to start another.